Hello everyone, my name is Roberto Costa. I am the project manager and programmer of Anywhereland, a 3D collectathon platformer game by Vulpes Studios, a team of myself and two others who will be introducing themselves right now.
Hi there, my name is Fabio Matias and I'm working as the art director for Vulpes Studios' new project, Anywhereland. I do character design and 3D modeling. We hope you like our game.
Hi, my name is Marise. Currently, I'm working with Flipper Studios to create our new project, Anywhereland. In this game, I'll be doing the level design, sound design, and animations, as well as help with 3D modeling and game design. Hope you enjoy our game. See you soon.
Hey, Roberto with another shirt here. So, I will be presenting the first devlog of Anywhereland. In future weeks, my colleagues will be taking over to present their own work. However, today, it's on me. Not to say we can't have some fun with it, though. And without further ado, welcome to the game. This little lad right in front of us is Lynn, the main character of Anywhereland, in his admittedly very early prototype stage. You're gonna have to forgive us for a lot of things in these videos. We've never really done anything like this before, and not the game, I mean, but video production, just presenting to a public. Public speaking is not really our forte, and for many of us, English is not even our first language. As a result, there's going to be a lot of hiccups in this, and I hope you can all enjoy it for what it is. If you're a developer or if you're hopefully a fan of the work who wants to see the game completed. So, what you may be wondering right now is, what are you looking at? This looks like a mess. In fact, none of this makes sense. Everything's thrown around, hodgepodge. There's no flow at all to the level. If you called this trash, you'd be right. This is absolutely trash. Well, it's because this isn't a level. If you're a developer, you may be familiar with the term a gym. Well, what a gym is a place where people who create content for a game generally throw new things in. They test it out and they work it out, either old things, new ideas in general. And the reason why you do this and not instead of in your actual game is because if things go wrong, at least it's confined to what is essentially a trash level. Everything comes in here to be tested, and everything usually dies here. Very rarely does something actually reach the full production of the game. As a result, this is very often littered with the corpses of ideas that never made it past here. One, for example, is that giant buoyant area in the background. Notice those cubes bobbing up and down? That was an early prototype for water. Doesn't really work, and we probably won't develop it further. Because, well, there's no point. The level we're designing doesn't include swimming, doesn't include any sort of water area. One of the original levels that we were planning out was actually something themed around the idea of Venice, with like sailboats, a very Zelda Wind Waker in a lot of aspects, of course with the our own game spin on things. As a result, this space here is essentially where I spend all my time in development. It's my workspace, it's my workshop. It's like a little toy factory of sorts. Now, I'm sure you're dying to actually see me move the character. So, let me take you through the basics. Lynn is capable of basic movements. A jump, a wall climb, very small. If he jumps into a wall, he'll generally carry over his momentum a little bit upwards, and that'll carry him over the edges. This will probably be substituted with a proper sort of wall run, wall climb system later down the line. But, as I said, this is a prototype, and things keep getting prototyped. Other things he's capable of are gliding. Now, it's a bit bare bones right now, but there are a few nuances to how it works. it instantly, well, not instantly, but very quickly actually slows the character down. So this can be used in combination with certain environmental elements and ways to speed boost you to actually control the direction you're going in. Now, you may have just noticed something flash by you right there. Well, it's another famous character. In fact, if we wanted to compare the two, you may notice there's a lot of similarities. This is Hat Kid from Hat in Time. She's a major inspiration for us in a lot of Anywhereland's development. In fact, you could say Hat in Time as a whole is one of the main reasons this game is being made in the first place. It's a great inspiration for us, although we feel there are things that we can do uniquely. And that's why we believe there's enough design space for both of these games. However, we are willing to admit, yes, the similarities are there. There's no denying it, and we hope you take it in good jest and good faith. One of the biggest differences that we're going from, well, Hat in Time and other competitors to, well, Anywhereland, is cell shading. So, what you're looking at right here, this horrible banding happening here, that's an error with the cell shading. It's still in a bit of an early phase, but we have got it more or less looking generally the way we want it. As you can see off in the distance and with objects around the level, things actually look pretty snazzy. They pop. Lin himself currently does not work too wonderfully with the cell shading and the outlines, but that's because this is actually a sculpted model rather than the reduced model that you find after retopologizing. So his vertexes and vertex normals, which for the layman is like if you take a surface and you make a line pointing out of it, he's made of hundreds and hundreds of tiny little surfaces with their lines all pointing out in directions they should not be pointing out. And so the lighting does not behave perfectly on him, and you'll notice a lot of artifacting of a lot of things. Now, if you were to look at other characters that the shader is being active on, such as, well, Hatkit herself, you'll notice a much cleaner look already. That is essentially what we're going for long term here, is for that clean, nice, crisp, cel-shaded look. We feel there's not enough cel shading in games in general, and we'd love to see more of it. Wrapping things up before I get sidetracked again, and before I run out of time for this video, we're going to cover Lin's other two major mechanics. The first of which you don't see very often in 3D platformers. Quite sadly, I would love to see it more. And that is a wall run. Lin is capable of bouncing around off walls and keeping himself airborne much longer than most characters you'd see in these kind of games. Sorry, just having a bit of fun here. Even in its early stage, this is actually quite a bit of fun. It's one of the things I always try to make sure of when I'm developing mechanics. I believe one of the creators of Mario once put it best. We prototype the character over and over for months on end, and only when we know that the character is fun to move and play, then we move into proper production. Now I know that's not a direct quote, but it's something I truly do believe in, and I know it's somewhere close to what he actually said. There are also other more minor mechanics. A small secret of the development so far has been that we're also trying to cater to more hardcore players as well as the casuals. Casual players, we plan to cater mostly to that, but as games like A Hat in Time have proven, there is a market for, well, a more challenging, more engaging type of gameplay in these sort of games. So, more minor mechanics that aren't usually necessary to traverse the environment, but that will give you boosts of speed, will allow you to traverse areas much more easily, are planned. The first of which is already in. We call it the skip jump. So if Lin performs 2 small jumps, followed by a long one, he does this massive boost of speed and just goes flying all over the place. This should help players that are, trying to speed up their way through levels get a lot more airtime. Or maybe not airtime, but it should make the airtime that they have much more impactful over their total level speed. The other major mechanic that needs covering before we finish off is how the glider is used outside of just gliding. You may have noticed a lot of these blue zones. Besides the, buoyant area in the back, the ones around me are, well, wind zones. We plan on having a lot of these through levels. As you can see, if you've got your glider out and you're in one of these, you sort of just get dragged along. This is admittedly not that exciting of a mechanic. It's more for level design itself, and we believe there are a lot of fun things we can do with this and challenges we can make out of it. And it's going to be one of the cornerstones of actual level design going forward through the game. So, with that finished, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope this has been entertaining for all of you. And please, let me know down in the comments, if you do deign to comment, whether you'd like these to be a more technical outlook. As I am the programmer, I can take you into a much more technical look at onto how everything works, shaders and everything. I won't be doing tutorials, sadly. You'll have to find other people to teach you these things. But I will be willing to go through, well, how the code works and all that, and even present it to you. I don't plan on keeping trade secrets with how any of this works. I'm happy to release just about everything. When the game enters full production, when it's released, I may even discuss releasing the source code itself, so that people can experiment and do their own things with it, as I'm a wide believer in open access to knowledge, if that knowledge does not cost me too much to make available. So, without that, let's say goodbye to Lynn, and I'll see you all next time.